University, Oklahoma College for Women, and I experienced all the fears that you talked about when you were 6 years old. I didn't speak any English, and Mama took me from Havana to this little place called Ardmore, Oklahoma. Very rustic, very provincial. And the only words that I knew, I said, you have to give me a phrase so that I can be one with the children. They put me back from second grade to first grade. And the phrase she taught me was, I want to play with you. That was the first thing I learned in English. And she was an expert in all the Romance languages. So I was blessed because I had a highly educated woman who brought me here. And she went into immersion. She wouldn't allow me to speak Spanish. If I wanted to say, yo quiero huevo y pan, I had to say eggs and bread. Everything had to be, I had the dictionary in front of me constantly. If I didn't know a word, I had to look it up. I had to spend every free time in the library reading every book that I could get my hands on. I knew more about American history than any kid in Ardmore, Oklahoma. But I got to tell you something. Being a person who's had a father who spent almost 20 years in a Cuban prison fighting Castro, seeing how many Cubans were blessed because they came here as political refugees. They didn't have to go through what you went through. And they are blessed. And I commend you for your struggle. But I want to tell you, don't give it up. Keep fighting. Because in this country, there isn't a minority, there isn't a group that hasn't had to fight. The Chinese came here in the 1850s and 60s and built the railroads in this country. And they were considered less than until the 20s. Women went to jail in this country and in England because they were trying to ask for the vote. You didn't get the vote till the late 20s. Earlier than that, the blacks got the vote, and they got it before the Chinese and the women. Nothing has come easy, and it's been very hard for the Latinos because we have been looked at as different in a pejorative sense because the American culture has never really understood Latin America. It's a vast continent with cultured and diversified people. You need to study your own history and explain it to them because they don't understand it. They don't know the distinction between an Uruguayo, a Brasileño, a Chileno, an Argentino, a Cubano, a Honduran, and so forth. Know your own history and be proud of it, and do not give up the fight. Do not give up.